overall calories to start with. Don't worry about anything. Do that for a few weeks. Once you've done that, then the next important thing is to keep an eye on protein and try and hit 2 grams per kilo body weight.
Use MyFitnessPal. People try to go too detailed from the get-go, and like I've had it where people stress out, like if they can't hit the macros within like 5 or 10 grams inside, it doesn't matter. Like I could change your macros now, and you try to hit them just because I've changed them. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's just a number plucked out of the air.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be consistent with it. Make sure you're honest with your tracking and log everything, because a lot of people don't. They just make the numbers fit. One that you can stick to. But like any diet that elicits a calorie deficit that you can be adherent to over the long term is going to be the most successful.
This diet is one that probably includes as many foods as possible that you can eat. Because adherence is the
that's it.
main thing.
You're probably going to be beneficial with some protein in and around your workout. So if you've had a protein serving of 25-30 grams, like say an hour, 2 hours before you've trained, that's fine. Probably want to put some carbs with it, but not essential. Maybe again 30-40 grams of carbs an hour to 2 hours before training to allow digestion. Then you'll probably be alright eating an hour to 2 hours after. It's that basic. So again, you would look for a protein serving 25 to 30 grams. Anything other than that is unnecessary.
It's probably one of the biggest myths I think in nutrition, that when you eat has this sort of a massive impact on your good results, and it's just so irrelevant.
Yeah, like timing wise, your body's not going to know what time you've eaten something.
Some people get into this habit as well of like having a protocol and then sticking to it. So like some people think, oh, I'm someone who skips breakfast, so therefore every day I have to skip breakfast. It's like, it doesn't matter if one day you skip it, the next day you don't, the next day you skip lunch as well. Like people get so caught up in it, and like I'm like that. I have days where I just don't eat breakfast, and then some days I do eat breakfast, and it just depends on the situation you're in and all that sort of stuff. But
They don't work.
it's a trick question.
Yeah, they don't work. A lot of those juices and powders and stuff just contain laxatives.
Yeah, you drop weight real quick because you've got no food in your intestine, you've got no food in your system, you drop a lot of carbs, drop a lot of water, drop weight real quick, but then as soon as you start eating, you put that weight back on again and you think you've got fat.
And then you think it was a juice.
And you think it was a juice that helped, and it wasn't.
So then you'll try it again.
It's just the whole thing, people have this really poor association with scale weight and not understanding the effects of food intake, carb intake, water intake on the weight on the scales and not on body composition. They can't dissociate the two. But getting out of that habit is a good one. Like obsessing about scale weight all the time.
Yeah. It depends on the individual. It depends on how much you've overeaten by.
Yeah.
If you're foreseeing a bigger day, I would always save calories in advance rather than try to claw it back, because then you can get into a bit of a cycle where you'll just, by clawing it back and cutting your calories down too low, like again, I've been in this before and seen loads of clients with it, where you'll just end up with the same feelings. You're hungry and then you want to overeat again, and then you'll binge, and then you'll do the same thing. Right, I need to cut back down to make up for it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better to just write it off.